Hello again, my friends. I have been dying to finish this one so I could share it with you. This is something new for us. So obviously it's an Icon BR, but it is the first of a new model that we're going to offer here forward. It is called the Old School. So why the old school, you might ask? Well, pretty straightforward. I'm not saying you're asking a dumb question or anything, but it's pretty obvious. The idea was to create a far more retro and old school aesthetic. We've actually found some clients that while they love their Icon, they're a little bit surprised about all the attention that they receive. And actually in a couple cases, people have sent their trucks back within the first 6 months and say, look, I love the truck, but I can't even stop and get a tank of gas without having conversations, and on and on and on. So we heard them. And I've really been wanting to do this anyway, because look, when we started the brand, the reality was we had to create kind of a whole different aesthetic to help communicate our completely different approach to the mechanical engineering. It just was easier for people to digest all at once. Now that people know the brand, we're 10 years in, I think we can afford ourselves the luxury to do something that looks a lot more stock. So in this video, I'm not going to really focus on the mechanical, because you can watch the other 50 plus videos on Icon BRs to understand the mechanical. First of all, we're not going to do any matte or eggshell finishes with the Old School. The Old School, to be Old School, has to be proper gloss paint. We're still going to offer any paint under the sun, and I'm looking forward to all the creative paint finishes we'll be able to do with this. Just because of the retro color palette, there's so much fun stuff you can do. On the outside, we did a lot more of the vintage style trim, and if you're a Bronquista, none of it is factory correct. I basically just picked my favorites of the different trim packages that were offered, the Explorers and the Rangers, and from different years, and just kind of mashed them up into an equation that I found preferable. So starting up in the nose, you'll notice we kept the traditional Bronco grille. We did the more deluxe one with the applied letters versus the stamped letters. We did the bright work trim that differentiates between the white and the primary body color, just because we liked it. We did the bright work headlight bezels, and then you'll notice for the parking lights, there are two different versions that Ford offered. The earliest ones are what I selected. We did more of an old school antenna. We did no light guards on the side marker front or rear quarter lights. And then the side badges, I took inspiration from the original Bronco script font, and then we CNC'd those in-house in stainless. So it still says Icon, but you really got to be looking to know. Otherwise, I think people just go, oh, nice old Bronco, which is exactly what we wanted. The rear tire carrier is factory. Once again, not quite factory, so I never liked the release cable mechanism on the factory design. They always get stuck on stuff, ripped off on stuff. They're kind of annoying to utilize anyway. So we kept the original paddle handle release, deleted the cable, and now we added a stainless steel release lever with a little cam action. So as that rotates out, it stops at 90 degrees, and that cam actuates and locks it, and then you hit the tong by hand to then rotate it back and close it. It still jiggles around a little bit. That seems to just be a thing the stock ones do, but I think we got it to an acceptable state. We got it under control. For taillights, we ran the usual Icon lights. Obviously for the bumpers, we ran the stock vintage Ford Bronco bumpers with no bumperettes. Kind of up in the air about the bumperettes. I suppose if people want them, we could run them. I also think on certain colors it could be cool to do those in the lowbrow standard Bronco model, where those are simply painted white. On the tailgate, we left the Ford script. We left the factory Ford license plate holder, but we did the stainless steel version. And then we did the Ranger trim. The Ranger trim will be an option for people. I don't know, some people like it, some people don't. Personally, I do, especially on an Old School. It just adds to that retro charm. For the door handles and the exterior rear view mirrors, Those are stock vintage Ford components on the old school. Moving on to the inside, we got a lot of changes here. Dashboard, complete redesign. It is all brand new. We control the manufacturer, but again, we designed it to look much closer to original. So that includes the AC vents are in dash, but they're more classic looking with the chrome outer bezel and the black anodized inner balls. Then the dash switches took a ridiculous amount of time to do. I took inspiration from the 60s Ford style, but we CNC'd those and then had them all chrome, and then the escutcheon bodies on the bases indicate fan, vent, temp, or whatever the function might be. For the instruments, we worked with our buddies at Decoded Digital as always, but I redesigned the look of it to again take much greater inspiration from the original Ford design. For the steering wheel, while it may appear stock, it is not. It's from early Mustang. I picked the Mustang not really because of the design. I actually like the Bronco horn ring better. But the cool thing with the Mustang is we get a variety of colors. So again, in keeping with kind of the theme and the continuity I'm looking for, this being a blue truck, we're able to get a blue wheel, and it's just cool. And then we did the spun pewter icon lizard in the center of that steering wheel. Glovebox, we did a stock Glovebox door. In fact, it is the original Glovebox door that came with the truck. Console, seat recline hardware is the same as new school, but the coloration is unique. We added bright work around the window trim, which you'll see on the exterior, on the rain gutter of the hardtop, as well as here on the inside trim. And then the door panels, we went far more retro. This particular truck did the power windows option. So of course we did that with our system where it appears stock. So we kept the manual looking regulator, but you just nudge it for down, nudge it up for up. Seats are same as new school, but in the old school, obviously we wanted to trim them. So did a funky cool plaid and what appears to be leather, but it's actually a very high-end aircraft rated vinyl, and just had the right tone and grain for what I was looking for. You've seen Icon Broncos with the bikini tops before. This one we decided to do white, again to match the design of the truck a little closer, and we did the full-length family bikini. And we also did the hard top, which you'll see in the majority of the footage. But today the bikini top's on. I was out of town when Mason shot the rest of it. So it actually turns out to be good because you get to see both versions. I guess I'll shut up. That's enough. I appreciate your patience. I thank you for your support for my brand. If you have any questions, reach out to us. Old school telephone 818-280-3333. Facebook is Jonathan Ward or Icon 4x4. So is Instagram, and Twitter is Icon Design. Have a great day. Thanks again.